This is the Popular Apocrypha Podcast, Episode 14, Thomas the Tank Engine, for January 1st, 2018. Happy New Year, and welcome back to the Popular Apocrypha Podcast. It's 2018, bros. Bros?
Yeah.
Bros.
And it's the first podcast of the new year. How are y'all doing?
Good. Hopefully 2018 will treat me better than 2017. Oh wait, but I got married in 2017.
Barely. Basically 2018.
Yes.
It still counts.
I got married in 2017, like the middle of it.
I did not.
Fun fact. I'm Tyler.
I'm Logan, your host.
I'm Yuri.
No, you're not.
He's back.
It's a throwback to last episode. I still love that character.
It's good.
I love
It's
that.
really
It's a golden character.
You know who else we need to introduce? Audible. We need to introduce Audible.
Wow.
With their...
Audible.
Shut up, I'm doing an ad read. With their over 180 some odd thousand titles to choose from, Audible is an award-winning Amazon audiobook service, and they've partnered with us to bring you a free month trial and a free audiobook if you sign up. So if you sign up for Audible, you can get such titles as Murder on the Orient Express.
Hey, that's a cool book.
Yeah, it's narrated, there's a number of versions, but the top version is narrated by a full cast, including such names as Tom Conti, Jane Asher, Ruta Gedmintas, and I'm going to stop trying to pronounce those names.
Going on.
Thanks Audible for sponsoring this podcast, and thank you for going and checking it out. You can check it out at audibletrial.com/popapoc. That's audibletrial.com/popapoc for your free month-long trial and free audiobook as well. Thanks Audible, and thank you listeners for checking that out for us.
So, interestingly enough, it is the 1st of January, and we're tackling somebody who is number one. And I'm not talking about Robbie Rotten.
Or Smitty Warben Jaegerman Jensen.
If you listen to the last episode, you know what we're talking about already.
Well, yeah. We're tackling Thomas the Tank Engine.
He was number one.
He is number one, Riley. Yeah. He always will be in our hearts.
Okay, so...
That joke just poop.
So the three of us, right, all grew up watching Thomas the Tank Engine,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Very, very nostalgic for a bunch of us. For a lot of other people too, I'm sure. So I'm going to give a brief description just to kind of refresh our memories and introduce the audience. If they don't already know who Thomas the Tank Engine is, Thomas the Tank Engine had his origins in a children's toy when the Reverend Wilbert Awdry built a small wooden train out of the end of a broomstick for his son Christopher, which he accompanied with various tales of the exploits of this little engine in 1942. 3 years later, he decided to publish these stories, and although the character of Thomas didn't even appear in the first book of these stories, Thomas soon became the favorite character of the audience and the main protagonist of the entire series. In 1979, British writer and producer Britt Allcroft came across the books and decided to make them into a television series, which has since become successful worldwide. The show, Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, later shortened to Thomas and Friends, features Thomas the arrogant but warm-hearted engine and other trains on the island of Sodor as they go on various adventures and mishaps.
Mordor?
Sure. Crossover event. No. But I would recommend that the listener would look into the rabbit hole that is the history of Thomas the Tank Engine. You wouldn't think that something that has only lasted for like 70 years would be so rich in a lot of stuff happening, but it had a lot of stuff happening. And the lore of this world is really big too.
Name some big events.
Like the original company who owned it, well, it was bought like 4 or 5 times throughout its history. Now it is owned by Mattel. Interesting.
Of course.
And yeah.
From Mattel.
Yeah.
Hasbro for life.
Probably going to be owned by Disney in like 10
not
years.
Spawn. Hashtag not spawn. But we could be.
That's the finishing of the hashtag. Hashtag not spawn, but we could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting to see like the history of like the TV show and how much Britt Allcroft, who was a genius, by the way, was involved, and how much like the U.S. got involved with presenting Thomas to an American audience by producing what many people know to be Shining Time Station, which I don't know if you guys heard of that. It was a short run in the 90s. It was like it was kind of like a kids sitcom style in this really happy train station that was live action. And then certain parts of the show, a conductor would tell stories of Thomas the Tank Engine to some of the kids.
Huh.
And that's where they would introduce Thomas to an American audience.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think that's really interesting. And some of the narrators in there include Ringo Starr, Alec Baldwin, George Carlin. So lots of famous people involved.
Big famous names.
Yeah. So Thomas the Tank Engine has been pretty big over time it's been going. So I want to start out with a game to start out.
I'm ready. My body
Test
is ready.
you guys' memories and possibly
God.
thinking abilities.
Oh, God.
Oh.
So I call this game Tank or Prank. So
I'm Jared Leto.
No. We do not recognize that.
So, as I said before, the lore of Thomas the Tank Engine is very big. In fact, there are quite a lot of characters, so much so that Wikipedia had to divide all the characters into 7 separate pages of lists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Category or
Different categories, yeah. So, like, there was a page on different railway engines, specifically, like, a different type of railway engine, specifically, non-trains, like, people, film characters. It was extensive. So,
I have a brief question before the game. Would you credit Thomas Tank Engine with being the origin of Cars?
like,
That's an
Cars the
interesting
Pixar movie?
question.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some inspiration there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Same with, like, JJ the Jet Plane,
Yeah.
or, you know.
I think I have actually heard that Thomas the Tank Engine was a direct, like, inspiration for JJ the Jet Plane.
That
I'm
makes sense.
Pretty sure.
like, anthropomorphizing
Planes, trains, and
Vehicles.
automobiles.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to give the name of a character from Thomas and Friends.
Oh, God.
You two have to guess whether it is the real name of a character from Thomas and Friends,
Okay.
or made up by me.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
What do we get if we win?
Love and admiration.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So,
Fresh
you ready?
out of that.
Tyler V. Riley, Dawn of Justice.
Yes, please.
Do you guys want me to ask you both of them at once, or do you want me to ask you them separately?
I think at once.
Okay. So, first name. You have to guess Tank or Prank. Tank being a real name, Prank being a not real name.
Right.
Okay. Number 1. Diesel 10.
Diesel 10?
Diesel 10. I can spell it for you, but I can't tell you anything else. As in Diesel, like Diesel, the number 10.
See, I remember a character named Diesel. I don't remember a number after it. But there might have been, but it might have just been abbreviated to being Diesel. And it might have actually been Diesel 10. I don't know. So,
Prank.
I'm going to go with Tank.
It is Tank. It is the villain in the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
I remember it being more of a meaner. That's a technical
If
term.
you remember, it's the one
Meaner?
with
Yeah.
like the weird claw on
Yeah.
top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see the movie, but it's like variations of that one were in other shows.
Fun story. That is the first movie I saw in theaters.
Cute.
I was like 5 years old.
Cute.
Aww.
Uh-huh. Okay, number 2. You ready?
Yep.
Riley's gonna like this one. The Flying Scotsman.
Prank.
Tank.
Tank. Prank.
Yep.
Tank.
Ah.
Hey, 1 for 1,
Yeah.
baby.
You remember the character? You remember the character Gordon?
Yeah.
This is his brother,
Oh.
and I guess he's based on a real steam train. So
Makes sense.
Yeet. Oh, and by the way, I might add that there are so many characters in this that pretty much any like normal name is a name of a character in Thomas the Tank Engine.
This is known.
Yeah, so that's why these are going to be probably more unique names, just to kind of throw you guys off. So
This is none.
okay, so number 3, ready? Pneumonia.
Prank.
Prank.
It is Prank,
Still 1-1.
Yeah.
but if
Good
he were
boy.
real, he'd always be sick.
Oh, 2-2, I guess.
2-2.
2-2. 2-2s.
Okay, ready? Number 4, Mighty Mac.
Tank.
Prank, 'cause he's a character in like the punching game.
It is Tank. That's Little Mac you're thinking.
Oh.
Yeet.
Yeah, he's actually basically the cat dog equivalent. He has 2 faces.
Really?
Uh huh.
Man, this is bringing back memories. Whew.
Okay, ready? Number 5. UB04 Blaster.
No. Prank. No way.
I mean, I'm at a disadvantage. I have to even out with you, right? You said prank?
I said prank.
Tank.
It is prank. But if it were real, it would be a Steelman flying type and hang out in an alternate dimension, occasionally going out into the Alola region as an Ultra Beast.
Prank.
It's a Pokemon.
And you're 4-2.
Also known as Celesteela.
Is there any way I can catch up to this point?
Yes. There are 10 questions total, and we have 4 left. I can make the last 2 questions double.
Worth 2 points?
Yeah, let's do that.
I can do that.
Let's do that.
Okay. Number, 6?
Yeah.
Waroosh. Would you like me to spell that for you?
Yes.
Okay. Waroosh.
Go with tank.
Prank.
It is prank.
Okay. Catching up.
But I'm sure he'd go really fast if you were real.
Waroosh.
Okay, number 7. You ready?
Ready.
Dusty Crop Hopper.
Tank.
Tank.
That is prank. That is the main character in Disney's Planes.
Balls.
No.
Yeah.
Lightning McQueen.
I considered putting
Tank.
that. So what are we at now?
We're on 9.
No. What's the score?
I'm 1 ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 8.
Are these worth? Is this one? No, this
No,
one's not 2 yet.
not yet.
The next one.
Bulstrode.
I'm gonna go with tank.
Bulstrode?
Bulstrode. Do you want me to spell that for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bulstrode.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with tank.
Tank or prank? Okay. Tank.
Okay.
Okay, so still.
We're still even.
He's a barge who eventually becomes a children's playground.
That's cute.
Aww.
Okay.
Let's destroy that in my cannon.
So, number 9. These are worth 2.
Children's graveyard.
Oh my god.
Oh,
A
wow.
floating child graveyard.
Okay, so, number 9. X.
Like the letter X?
The letter X.
Oh, that's. I don't know.
Prank.
I've gotta go with tank then.
It is prank.
You're one ahead.
I'm one
You're
ahead.
But I'm sure if it were real, it would either be a sexy spy engine or a gritty anti-hero.
Ooh, a sexy spy engine.
Mm-hmm.
It goes chugga, chugga, chugga.
Chugga chugga.
And then when it blows steam, it goes, ha. I'm awful.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
It's for
This
2.
it could be either way.
You're ahead by 1, right?
I'm ahead by 1, but it could go either way.
Riley's ahead by 1. Okay, number 10. Logan.
I don't know. I'm gonna go tank.
Now, you could also go with tank and protect yourself.
I could protect myself.
Or you could go with prank to go for the risk, but he might win if he was right.
What's more exciting? More exciting is if I go opposite of you.
That's true.
Prank.
It is?
It is tank.
Yeah!
Tyler wins! And so,
I
Logan
get love and
was...
affection and you don't. Ha.
But Logan, you wanted to be
What?
in. You wanted to be a. You want to be a train, right?
So, Logan was a book-exclusive character, and according to according to Wikipedia, it is a strong steam shunter. So I would like you to refer to me, please, as a strong steam shunter.
What do we call Mr. Snip Snips?
He's still Mr. Snips.
So Mr. Snip Snips.
So that's the game. Hope you learned all about it.
Freaking lost.
I mean, there are a lot of weird names out there, like Stepney, Scarloey.
Also, James.
It's not weird. That's
But,
both
like,
of our
no,
middle
like,
names.
that's one
Well,
of
yeah,
them. It's
I
not
mean,
weird.
the main ones are like Thomas, Edward,
Yeah.
Henry, Gordon, James, Toby,
Henry was my favorite.
Harold the
I
helicopter.
hated Harold.
Really?
That just
I
bothered me.
liked Harold.
It's about
Terrence.
trains, okay?
Well, I mean, there's like Terrence the tractor or the
Yeah, it bothered me too.
tractor, yeah, and then the Birdie the bus.
Yeah, not okay. It's about-
What about Sir Topham Hatt? Did you
well,
like
that
Sir
was a
Topham Hatt?
person, and persons are supposed to be in trains, so I was more okay with that. Still a little bit bothered me.
Oh, get inside me.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, okay.
There's our explicit tag. Can we get a soundboard for an explicit tag?
Sorry, I had to make a joke.
Explicit.
I had to get it out of the way right now at the beginning of the
Yep.
episode.
Yep.
Cool. Let's go ahead and start talking about Thomas the Tank Engine. What do we want to say about him?
I have a suggestion, and this is something that I remember thinking when I was little. I always thought that it was the case. Now I just want it to be the case. That Thomas the Tank Engine, that world, that island, and Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh world are in the same universe.
See, it's interesting because in researching this, I found that a lot of people said there were a lot of similarities because they both had the same kind of origins, where it's a father telling stories to their son,
Right.
Christopher, and then eventually putting them into book form.
I would like them to be not necessarily at the same place or time, but just within the same universe. I would like that. I think that would be cute.
And we haven't addressed Winnie the Pooh yet as a character.
Yeah.
True.
So I want to leave that alone for the most part, but I would love it if they were in the same universe. Whatever that means.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to see the children's book about it.
Like about them together.
Yeah, I'd love to see the pictures.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Or Thomas accidentally runs over Winnie the Pooh. 'Cause he's
Oh my
crossing.
gosh.
Wow.
Sorry.
No.
I don't know what's happening in this episode.
would-
I'm being really awful.
It would be, or it runs over Eeyore, and Eeyore just accepts it.
Oh my god.
Ruin your childhood.
It's okay, Pooh. This is how I wanted it.
See, the funny one would be if he like ran over its tail, and then
Right.
the tail was ripped off.
Right.
And then the DeviantArt comic about it
Is over-sexualized.
Runs over it, and it's over-sexualized.
Eeyore is like, oh, my tail. Pull on my tail more.
Or don't. It doesn't matter.
Is, like, Thomas too anthropomorphic? Or
Well-
not enough? Because he doesn't really talk, right?
Oh yeah, he
He
talks.
talks.
Yeah.
Really?
It's
Uh-huh.
got a face that talks and everything.
It's just
I think it just makes facial expressions.
No
Well,
arms or hands. In the original, I think it was just, wasn't it just facial expressions?
in the show, the narrator does all the voices.
Yeah.
Oh.
But sometimes
But he
still,
says
like
I mean, Thomas speaks in the
Yeah.
stories.
But
All the
it's
trees
the
do.
narrator saying Thomas's lines,
Yeah.
but it's Thomas saying.
Later
Does that make
on,
sense?
Yeah.
later on, the trains are given their own voices.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
still the narrator saying like, and then Thomas shouted.
said. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Should John Boyega voice Thomas?
I have an idea for John Boyega, and I will get into that later.
Okay.
Oh, he came prepared.
Recasting.
But what about who would voice Thomas in today?
I feel like we'd have to decide that later on.
You're right. After more character and stuff are built.
Yeah.
So you said that Thomas is usually an arrogant but warm-hearted engine, right?
Yes, but it's interesting because before he was like the main character,
Right.
he was more like the young cheeky one who like wanted things his way, kind of like the young teenager that like you kind of don't really like that much, but kind of like him for his flaws.
So the young bastard child of the respectable trains.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, young Jon Snow.
Yeah.
But later on, he's given more admirable qualities. So would we say we think that? I thought that what he is now is a little bit too bland, a little bit too Mary Sue, and he should probably go back to being like the egotistical. I want everything to be my way. I'm not going to ask for help from anybody. That kind of train. And then go out by himself and get into trouble and then learn his lesson.
Do my own thing.
Yeah.
Does he actually learn lessons, or does he just fail? Or does he
Well,
succeed in being
both.
terrible?
Well, because I mean, like, I just remember one that's kind of winter themed, where he goes out without his snow pusher thing on the front of him, and then he gets trapped in the snow. And so he has to rely on somebody else to get him out. I don't remember who.
I bet it was Henry. Henry's the best.
No, it was Terrence. That's
Doesn't
right.
matter. Henry's the best.
Henry was the one who got stuck in the train tunnel
I
because
thought
he
that
wouldn't
was
move.
James.
No, that was Henry.
Damn it.
That was the first TV show, by the way.
I love that one.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Yeah, which was kind of a weird story. Come to think
It
of
was
it,
great.
It's classic, but it's weird.
Super weird.
What do you think, Riley? You've been quiet over there. Well, how do you think Thomas should be, personality-wise?
What on the Myers-Briggs would you put?
Is there?
Thomas,
I'm gonna
I
look
think.
that up. I'm gonna look up Thomas the Tank Engine Myers-Briggs.
I think
just see what comes
Thomas
up.
should be a jock.
Really? Why?
I don't know. He like bullies other tanks.
Okay, I'm on board with that.
Because I mean, like Gordon and Henry kind of bully other tanks.
I remember Gordon does, yeah.
Or Thomas
James does a little bit.
Not as
Yeah.
much, though. He's just kind of not super self-aware.
Or he's a train that doesn't know what he's doing, but ends up being successful, as opposed to the train that thinks he knows what he's doing and ends up not being successful.
I like that. Can we add in one more thing? What if Thomas is super not self-aware and thinks that Thomas thinks that he's a human?
So he goes to hug people and runs them over.
What?
I mean,
how would he
extreme.
not? How would he not know that he's? How would he know? How
I'm
why would he
saying
think?
he's super, super not self-aware.
Yeah. He has to go to the prom and can't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like always wants to try to leave the train tracks and doesn't understand why he can't just walk over there.
That's really sad. It's brutal.
I feel like he wouldn't be able to do his job that well then, because like he pulls coaches for a living.
He doesn't really make a living. He doesn't get paid. He's a train.
Well, yeah, but that's his job. That's his purpose.
Wow, we're getting deep.
His porpoise.
I'm talking
His
about
purpose.
porpoises.
What is your purpose?
Monty
Anyway.
Python reference.
Hmm.
Okay, so maybe not thinks that he's a train. I mean, thinks that he's a human. What about he thinks that he's something else though, other than a train?
What about he wants to be human,
Wants to be human?
like a
I want to be
Pinocchio?
a real boy.
Yeah, yeah.
The
And his
Pinocchio
nose
train.
grows. What if he's kind
Oh
of
my god.
jealous of humans, so he's a little bit bitter toward them?
Ooh,
Oh.
and that leads to his kind of arrogant side, wanting to like do things on his own.
But yeah,
Or
he's
maybe
secretly
he's-
jealous, but he's not willing to admit that.
Yeah.
Or he's so jealous that he tries to kill people and ends up helping them by accident.
Give me an example.
Like somebody is choking, he runs into them and accidentally like Heimlichs them.
When he was trying to kill
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Or he sees the conductor standing on the track and he's like, finally, my chance for revenge. And he like goes after the conductor. The conductor like meanders out of the way and he can't stop in time. So he like clears the rubble out of the way. Or he like, I don't know.
It sounds like the horror movie Rubber, but for a train.
Well,
I mean,
But I like the idea of being jealous of humans. I'm not so keen personally on the idea of like wanting to kill humans, but it secretly helps them.
he likes that they can create life. And he too wants that power.
That's deep. Also, I know where you're drawing
not gonna
that from. I know exactly where you're drawing that from.
I was about to say something. Wasn't gonna say it.
Say it.
He wants a penis.
Why do you think he wants a penis?
Yeah, sexist.
Maybe he wants to create by budding.
Yeah, asexual reproduction.
By
Little round baby train just.
meiosis by just becoming two trains, two smaller
When
trains.
there's a split in the track, he just heads straight for the split. Like, boom!
Ooh, I like that. And then one of them is super jealous of humans, and one of them is like super kind to humans.
Maybe Thomas has multiple personality disorder.
Wow.
Logan's just shaking his head.
See, I have an idea kind of along those lines.
Okay, I want to hear it.
What if there is like a regular character added that is Thomas's conductor,
Okay.
who regularly talks to Thomas, and it's kind of like a Yugi Yami situation,
Yeah.
Okay.
where they kind of have a quote unquote inner dialogue. So what do you guys think about that? If we add like another secondary character that,
Kind of like
Does the
Thomas's
conductor-
Jiminy Cricket.
yeah,
Does the conductor
Yeah.
actually exist? Or is it all in Thomas's head? Or sort of head. Train head.
Train head.
I
That's
mean,
something else.
I mean, he has to have a conductor, right? Or do you guys remember in the show if they could move on their own?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I
They
feel like
can run out of coal though, which is
well, yeah,
interesting.
they have to have like somebody,
Something.
keeping them up.
I don't think anyone else heard that except for you two. I said me too.
But should he have somebody like another character like inside him?
The pause just made that so good. I think that he should have two characters inside of him at all times.
More the merrier.
What if Murder on the Orient Express happens inside Thomas?
Ooh.
And Thomas feels conflicted because he knows who did it, but he can't tell anyone.
No, Thomas is the murderer.
I have no mouth, but I must scream.
Thomas is like one of those like organic like vessels in like sci-fi
Yeah.
where he can have like a tentacle inside where he can just like put it through somebody.
Yep. I like the idea of having Murder on the Orient Express, like that storyline, happen on Thomas.
Or
That'd be cool.
turn Thomas the Tank Engine, the entire series, into a CSI, and different crimes happen inside Thomas.
How many crimes could you have happen inside Thomas?
He's very unlucky. Very unlucky.
CSI Sodor.
I like it. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun.
It's like a mashup between the Thomas theme and a Who song is the theme.
Who are you? Toot toot toot. I don't know. I'd watch it.
I love that. That's amazing, and that leads to like, because Thomas is constantly aware of all of those things happening. He sees the horrible atrocities committed by humans, and then the other humans have to pick up the pieces. And he sees both sides, and he doesn't know how to feel about humans because partially he's jealous of their ability to find such compassion and resolve and solidarity with others, but also how horrible human beings can be.
What if the trains get involved in the investigation, and
Without
they're
the humans knowing about it,
but they're usually the ones ending up solving the case?
like leading to the solving of the
Because
case.
Thomas the Tank Engine has to be about the trains,
Right.
First of all,
Obviously.
So, like, what if they are the ones like investigating?
They're behind the scenes, putting
Yeah.
all the pieces together for the human beings.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot.
solving mysteries.
Can Thomas be the one that puts sunglasses on and goes, "Oh yeah"?
He's the one making really bad puns.
I like it.
He
Okay.
made Thomas a mystery story, like a crime show.
Yeah. But like, not like a jokey crime show, like a
Yeah,
serious
like-
crime show.
yeah.
Pretty decent.
Like
Yeah.
drama
Yeah.
procedural.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna go serious, then we should probably change the way that their faces look. Rather than being these like super cartoonish characters, they should probably look more realistic, which would be super creepy looking.
Yeah, that would be really creepy.
But-
That'd like Shark Tale creepy.
Yeah.
Oof. Ugh.
Shark Tale.
Oh. Okay.
Working at the car wash.
I haven't seen it. I don't want to.
I don't know what you're referencing.
It's okay. Okay.
I want like
Okay.
super anthropomorphic
Okay.
faces. Then,
No, I don't. I don't want it.
do you want any faces?
I think their faces should stay the same.
You think?
I think
Because it's kind of ironic then in the super dramatic procedural.
I think they should
Okay.
look normal on the outside, but have them all be coal-oriented trains, and their faces appear in the fires.
Ooh. But
Like-
they're the cartoonish faces.
So then the investigators have to consult the trains. Like the investigators know that
Oh,
the
they
trains are
know.
alive,
The trains are
but
the
no one
consultants.
else knows.
The trains are
like
the witnesses.
Yeah.
one investigator.
Yeah.
Only one
Can
knows
consult
about
with the trains. Can converse with the trains.
Had a serious incident on a train years ago. Led to him having a special connection with all trains.
But like in the show, everyone can communicate with the trains, though.
Yeah, well, that's stupid.
No,
Yeah, well, I don't like that.
let's change it.
We can do whatever we frickin' want.
Yeah,
What do you think, Logan?
I think we could do that. Should I get into my John Boyega idea now?
Yeah, let's
Before
do
we
that.
get any
Let's
farther.
do that.
Okay, so
Yes, please.
I was thinking
Daddy, talk
either
about John Boyega.
I was thinking possibly if we had gone through with my idea of like having like a specific conductor for Thomas the Tank Engine, it could be John Boyega.
Well, that specific
investigator.
investigator,
But I was also thinking, what if John Boyega is Sir Topham Hatt?
why not have Topham Hatt be the last name of the investigator? Who is John Boyega?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see why this can't all work out.
Like
Okay.
in an alternate reality where trains remain the primary mode of transportation, cars don't come about, and then we have to create a crime force that deals with crimes that occur on trains because trains technically cross state boundaries.
Well, it's on an island, right? Are we going to change that?
Oh, then it's just the island force.
Yeah.
Okay.
Law and Order train unit. Tank
Dun,
Engine.
dun, bum, 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 bum.
So John Boyega's main character as Sir Topham Hatt investigating train-related crimes.
Agreed. That
And
sounds
he's the only
awesome.
one that can talk to trains.
And sometimes there's a twist where the train is the one who murders.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
And then
You
they
never
have
know.
to put it out of its, like, we have to decommission
Decommission
the
it.
murder train.
That's just murder.
On the murder train.
But it's only murder from the eyes of John Boyega's Topham Hatt character because everyone else is like, it's just a train, dude.
Yeah, and no one else believes him, and so he's the only one left to take down the train with the help of the other trains.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's good. That's really
And Thomas is his main
good.
his main go-to.
His partner.
His main
Yeah.
squeeze.
His partner. Yeah.
The Gus to his Sean.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. So who would voice Thomas? in
Danny
this?
DeVito.
We need somebody who's got the little bit arrogant, a little bit jealous, a little bit, compassionate, warm-hearted, all of that.
Jason
Tom Hiddleston?
Statham.
Jason Statham, is that who you said?
Bruce Willis. That would actually be really funny.
It should
Arnold
be
Schwarzenegger.
He should be like wisecracking though. Thomas should be like the wisecracking one.
for sure.
Who's the guy that plays Rocket off of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
That could.
I really don't want to force Bradley Cooper into being typecast as a train, though.
But Thomas has to be like the comic relief, but also the
Ryan
one who's
Reynolds.
kind of a little arrogant. And
He would jump on board so bad.
Deadpool, jump on board!
we're done. That's it.
Dun dun!
Thank you for joining us. That's been us.
That was actually
That was our
intentional,
finale.
and I kind of hate myself.
But Thomas has to be the one who's kind of still arrogant, but like he kind of goes off by himself to try to investigate the crime. We keep the same kind of trope of him trying too hard because he's too arrogant, too egomaniacal.
Ryan Reynolds.
But failing.
Ryan Reynolds and John Boyega team up in this new hit movie.
Did you hear
Can-
that Ryan Reynolds is going to play Detective Pikachu?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Let's not
There's
talk
going-
about it.
First of all, there's going to be a Detective Pikachu movie.
Where
First of all,
Pikachu speaks
Detective Pikachu is a game. Where Detective Pikachu walks around, who talks, by the way, and solves mysteries in an urban Japanese environment.
Have you guys ever seen the video where whatever the first movie where Pikachu speaks English, whenever that is?
That's I Choose You.
Yeah. So,
New one.
have you seen the video of people's reactions to that in the theater? It's like this 40-year-old man that stands up and is like, "Fuck no!"
Can we have Samuel L. Jackson voice Thomas?
I want Ryan Reynolds.
Samuel L. Jackson should voice like one of the other
Yeah,
James. Like James.
James.
That would be perfect.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, let's assign voices to the other
Yeah.
James.
Alright.
Okay.
Percy?
Percy is kind of like a little bit of a ditz, kind of like big head.
Jennifer
right?
Lawrence.
Tyler and I just look at each other.
Yeah, literally Tyler and Logan just like look out of the corner of their eyes at each other. They don't have to all be guys.
No, I agree. They shouldn't be.
Percy is like the young one, the rookie on this. on
Patricia.
force. Persia.
Persia.
Persia. Persian rug.
Kind of sexy, kind of goofy.
Boom.
All Jennifer Lawrence.
Or who's in the new Ghostbusters movie?
Now, a lot of people.
Uh,
Who are you talking about? Saturday
the
Night Live?
the Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, but which part of that
But
movie are you
which
talking
person?
Was she the lead? I don't remember.
There were
Dang
like
it.
4 leads.
Starts with an M.
Kate McKinnon?
No. This is gonna bother me now.
Sigourney Weaver.
Was she?
Sigourney Weaver should totally play that.
Was she in the second one?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I wish she could.
I haven't seen it. Chris Hemsworth was in it though.
Ghostbusters.
What if it was like a bunch of like people that are like known for doing the Marvel stuff? So
Melissa
Robert
McCarthy.
Oh, gotcha.
That
No,
should be
she
her.
would be great.
That's Percy. That's
Yeah.
kind of more of a comic relief.
Yeah. But Jennifer Lawrence should be somebody. One of the
Can
other
Jennifer
ones.
Lawrence be like one of the coach cars? One of Thomas's coach cars? Annabelle or no, Clarabelle? What are their names? Something like
I
that.
don't know. Yeah, it's just
Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt can be like the tractor.
No, you can be freaking JJ.
Who should-
Jet fucking fine.
Who should be Gordon? That needs to be
Danny
like,
DeVito. Yes.
he doesn't have like a commanding, intimidating voice though.
No,
I
you're
feel
right.
like it has to be like a.
Who's the guy that he has a super long mustache and he's in like the OK Corral?
He has a really deep voice.
Oh,
He talks
I know
like
who you're
this.
talking about.
He does the Ford commercials now.
Sam something?
Yeah, Sam.
Oh, Sam Elliott.
Yes. That would be good.
That'd be really
That
good.
would be really
Actually,
good.
that'd be fantastic.
Can we? But only if we can also give Gordon a mustache.
Again, obviously.
Also, have you guys realized that Terrence the Tractor has a widow's peak? I was noticing that on looking at my toys for research.
I can't even think of what Terrence the Tractor looks like, so...
I can show you a picture while you guys keep talking.
Okay. So,
Do
I
Henry.
really like this. We need to figure out who Henry is, and then I think we're good on...
What
figuring
about
out
Toby? I really like Toby. Toby was my favorite character.
Okay, so Toby and Henry. What's Toby like? I don't remember.
Toby was the brown tram car.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Toby the tram car.
Toby.
Should be Josh Gad.
I could see that.
It would fit.
Yeah.
Henry, I don't know. A little bit of a jerk, a little bit of a nice guy, all around confused.
Who's the guy that plays?
There's a creepy picture about me. He has a widow's peak. Terrence the Tractor has a
Who's the
widow's
guy that
peak.
plays Scar?
Oh,
and
right.
also the new Butler in the Batman movie.
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be really
Chris
good.
Henry? Yeah.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
I definitely feel like we didn't get enough female characters, but I know, as you said,
I mean-
that there are enough characters in the Thomas the Tank Engine lore that...
And there aren't that many female characters in the Thomas lore, to be
Really?
honest. Yeah. There's Lady, there's Mavis, there's...
Mavis.
Yeah. They were like the two main ones. And there were like Henrietta, which was Toby's coach car, and then the
So
Clarabelle
subservient
and Anna or whatever.
to the engine, that's what
Yeah.
I'm hearing here. So
who don't
it's-
really have... Who can't really do anything without their engine. Yeah.
Do we want to make
Nope.
Thomas as a tank engine, seeing the murders happen, the like mysterious, all-knowing consultant versus the partner, and then have a female like co-investigator with John Boyega?
I feel like I
Or do we want to make Thomas kind of naive and like, I kind of know what's going on. This is how much I can help you.
I like that more.
Yeah. Or like he thinks he knows what went on.
He might be wrong.
Yeah.
Needs definitely some fallibility.
Like,
in all
no,
the
no,
characters.
no, John Boyega. This is how it went.
Yeah.
Is he kind of fallible because he has to communicate with his tram cars? Like it's like a line of, or like his
he just
passenger.
doesn't know.
No, that's just his day job.
Okay.
Is pulling passengers.
Like sometimes the investigations might not actually have happened on Thomas. It might have been elsewhere on a different train or like
Or in the train
or
station.
in the train station.
Just John Boyega. Just
Or on
Thomas
the train. Or I mean on the railway lines.
Yeah. No train around.
Yeah.
That we know of.
Thomas is just John Boyega's go-to to solve the case.
His boy.
Boyega.
Boyega.
John Boyega.
Okay.
Rosalina and Luma. Okay. It's late.
No, I like this. I like this. It's kind of serious, kind of goofy.
Coming
kind of
together,
mixture.
coming together.
A little bit like the live action Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh yeah.
So do we change anything about Thomas as a character? Like, do we still want to keep him like, kind of naive but also kind of cocky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Like we've said before. Like he thinks he knows what's going on, but he doesn't actually. And sometimes he goes out to try to solve the case, but on his own.
I like he's torn between being jealous of the humans and like distaste for them given what he sees different humans doing. Like he has that.
Yeah, because he's in a relationship with John.
Exactly.
Who protects people, and then a
Mr. Topham
relationship.
Hat.
Yeah. Sir Topham.
Sir Topham Hat.
You're rad. He just has like a badge in the center of his hat.
Sure.
Also, Sir Topham Hat was fat in the main story, so can we have John Boyega put on a few pounds before he takes this role?
I would say let's leave that up to John Boyega.
Oh, okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
He can wear a pillow under his
You do
under
you.
his shirt.
I kind of want him to wear like still the same size of clothing, like really long,
the same kind of
flowy
clothing.
but still be like his trim figure, and so like when he runs, it like flows in the wind and stuff. Yeah.
Kind of like a Sherlock trench coat kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Be good.
Yeah.
Be good.
So I had another kind of question.
Yeah.
The time period in which Thomas takes place is kind of obscure. Basically, I think what people have determined is that it takes place between the two world wars, usually, about. So, some of them say it takes place in just an alternate dimension where all this
No
exists.
wars happened.
Yeah, or it doesn't matter if they happen or not. But would you say, like, the clothing and the technology should stay the same? Or should they introduce some new things?
So
Like,
I
maybe
kind of
they're at risk of being upended by electric trains.
I kind of touched on this point where I do think that trains in this alternate, I think it should be an alternate reality,
Me too.
that trains remained the main mode of transportation, which allows for multiple adventures to happen, and also maybe even transoceanic trains have been invented, and so, or transoceanic routes. And so even though this takes place mainly on the island, maybe there's a time when
Room to
you
expand.
explore other worlds, or, you know,
Go to 100 Acre Wood.
yeah, or go visit,
JJ to the jet plane.
or
Nope.
the Jolly Green Giant and Michelin Hellboy Man.
I like the idea of having it like technically like the time period being between World War I and World War II. But what if it's World War II doesn't happen, or at least not the same way, and alternate reality where everything is more like it's been steampunkized a bit more. So you have more steampunk-esque trains and gadgets and things like that. At least on the island, and like that is expanding outward to the rest very slowly, like the rest of the world at a slow rate.
What if the Isle of Sodor is kind of like Dinotopia?
Yeah.
Where they have no contact with the outside world?
Except every now and then a train makes its way through the treacherous transoceanic whatever.
Transoceanic Railroad. The Transatlantic Railroad. Dang, that sounds awesome.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. And like there's a full feature-length movie about going across why there's very few trains that make that trek.
Because it's underwater and it was built in Civil War times.
I kind of, if we want to stick with steampunk, I don't think we have the technology to go underwater. I think it should be over water,
Overwater?
which is why
That'd
it's
be crazy.
scarier.
That'd
Yeah.
be way scary.
Because it storms. Yeah.
And a lot of things. Monsters.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Awesome. That sounds awesome.
But surprisingly, there are a lot of crimes on the Isle of Sodor.
Well, yeah, it's people from the, it's often, not always, people from the outside world
Oh, running away
trying to get
Is there something
some
on the
of
island that
technology
they're
maybe, or
seeking?
like the steampunk technology. It's the source of like that technology maybe, kind of like Dinotopia. Getting
Or their
cool stuff.
mines? Or is it like the
Or that.
Wild West of the...
Yeah, it's like Wild West steampunk train central.
Yeah, like John Boyega has a gun,
Yeah,
of course.
obviously.
Yeah.
It's like a crazy like pistol thing. I don't know.
And occasionally he shoots at Thomas, and Thomas is like, "Ow,
Yeah.
you chipped my paint." Laugh track.
How
Seinfeld and theme.
how does John Boyega and Thomas decommission a murderous train?
How do they?
How do they?
The furnace.
Push him into the ocean. Or the furnace. Or maybe there's just a train jail.
No.
They put out the furnace?
What if there's a
Oh,
volcano
shoot.
on?
I mean, it sounds kind of like a Judge Dredd situation where, like, John Boyega is the judge, jury, and executioner
Of the trains.
of the trains.
Yeah.
But if it's a rogue train, how does
Then
he...
it has to be train v train.
like, Thomas takes it out?
And fight.
Yeah. They play chicken on the same track. See what happens.
And then John Boyega flips the lever, which tilts the other train onto its side, and it can't ever get up again. Just stuck there.
I think it might be like a putting out the furnace situation.
Or that.
Like,
But it could always be restarted.
he walks through the furnace and is like...
That's
no,
in the
please
sequel.
have mercy. He's like, no, your sentence has been judged. And he, like, pulls out a squirt gun and just squirts
Oh my gosh.
a super soaker.
It takes like the first like 20 squeezes of the trigger to get any water out of the squirt gun.
Did you do it yet? Oh.
But that leads to enemies being able to return and stuff too, which could be a good thing or a bad thing.
If the embers aren't completely put out.
Or if they get restarted by someone.
A ultimate villain.
Ooh. Daisy Ridley.
As the villain? Why not?
Kind of, I
Actually,
guess, her
she
typecast.
could probably play a pretty good villain.
Yeah.
kind
I
of
mean,
vibe.
we haven't seen the new one. We haven't seen Force or the Last Jedi, so...
Or Murder on the Orient Express.
Haven't
Yeah.
seen
I don't
it
know
yet.
if she's the murderer or not.
True, very true.
No one does.
Well, yeah, people have seen the movie and read the book.
No,
But I
no
mean-
one does.
No.
If you've used our Audible code to check out Murder on the Orient Express, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, I like this. This is good.
Same.
What sort of like build is Thomas? Because he's like in like what does he look like? Because in like the original, he's like this kind of goofy looking, cartoony blue little train.
I think he should still be blue. I think he should still have like a 1 on his side,
Okay.
but like a darker blue, like
Okay.
a navy blue.
And a teensy bit more rust peeking through.
Okay.
Although he's a relatively young engine
Yeah,
compared to
he's
the rest of them.
new, but because the island is so briny and
Gritty.
like, gritty, like he
It
has
storms a
more
lot.
paint than most.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But Gordon and Henry are kind of run down
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Still doing their job, but they've been around the block a few times.
Yeah. They've seen a few rogue trains. in their
They've
time.
seen things.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want them to, like, be able to smoke. I mean, steam coming out of their smokestack, but I mean...
They vape.
Oh my gosh.
No, Percy vapes. The young one vapes.
Don't vape. Don't do it.
Or you can't.
Don't do it. So what do you think? What do you think Thomas should look like?
I think that Thomas should have more than just blue, like another color.
Well, he has, like, yellow trim. And some red in there, too.
I like red. That's good.
And obviously
I
black.
like silver instead of
It's like blue and silver?
blue,
Maybe
silver,
blue
and
and
red. A little bit of red trim.
Okay.
Be good.
Because, like, his quote-unquote bumpers are red.
I think when I picture Thomas's train, like it's kind of a derivative of him, but like, have you ever seen the sugarcane trains in Hawaii? Like they're kind of like the really thin, still circular engines, very slim. You know, like kind of it would kind of symbolize like his youth, as opposed to the older trains that I picture like being more maybe boxy,
Yeah, blocky. Yeah.
yeah,
Sharper edges.
bigger. And so then his battles, or like him running down other trains, is more stressful because like he might not.
He doesn't have the horsepower necessarily.
Right.
He wasn't necessarily built for power.
No.
And if it's a movie or TV show, at some point you've got to have the the classic the protagonist fails, has their fall, and then gets rebuilt or repaired.
Thomas
and then
gets
comes
derailed.
back. Yeah, then gets repaired or put back on the track.
Maybe as long as you keep like the heart coal, then like the essence
the
of
heart cool.
We're talking about the life essence of trains.
Yeah.
Welcome to Popular Apocrypha.
Well, I mean, in the original, they didn't have to have that. They didn't have to be able to move. They were just alive.
Well, yeah. But I'm still functioning from the perspective that the trains themselves don't have faces. You talk to them through the fire.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But did we ever decide on if they can move themselves in this alternate reality?
I think so. Because, like I said, sometimes it's the train who does the murder, first of all.
Yeah.
Right.
And also
so they have
some-
to be self-actionable.
I think they run on their own, but only people like that are licensed by the train PD can speak to trains. Like that's a requirement of being a train PD officer is that you can communicate with trains.
So only
Yeah, like
Sir
the
Tom
trains.
and Matt.
The trains came about somehow in this world. Like no one really knows the origins of them, but they were
For
here long.
humans.
I mean, they
There were
helped.
trains.
Yeah,
trains.
like the trains helped the humans get around.
They should probably look a little bit non-human built then. So like a little bit, not like in some sense, a little bit alien per se.
A little bit organic.
Yeah.
I
something
mean,
like that.
if in this world no one knows how the trains run, like we know that like the fires keep them going and the steam comes out, but if like no one's ever built a train,
Can they repair them then?
I
Patch
would
them
say
up
so.
a little bit?
And, they have...
But not build them.
Right.
unless the ones that are built are the evil ones,
Or they've tried to build them, but they can't imbue them with souls.
and those are the ones that are heartless and kill people.
Oh, damn. How do you know which one's which?
You do the replicant check.
Yeah, I was gonna say like check it for emotions.
Okay, so we've got a steampunk Blade Runner alternate reality, Thomas the Train, Winnie the Pooh,
Searching for replicant
John
trains.
Boyega, Samuel L. Jackson, Ryan Reynolds universe.
Oh yeah, James has to be in it as Samuel L. Jackson.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Say what again? One more time.
Just bumps into him. Say what again?
Go on. Yeah. Anything else, Logan?
Let's see.
I really
Well,
like this.
I was kind of gonna ask,
good.
about Thomas's backstory, like how he was built,
Okay.
or like how he was made, produced, born.
The island births trains. They just appear on the tracks.
Also, do the trains need humans to maintain them? So, like, kind of in the original, where the trains could move on their own, but they needed humans to like fuel them up,
It would make sense why like the trains would care.
and why they would need humans,
Right.
Why they would keep them around.
Yeah.
And why they would do
And I mean,
things for humans.
They don't have thumbs,
Yeah, exactly.
so that helps.
No.
I think if we have transoceanic railroads, people don't really know where the trains come from.
They just show up. one day.
They show up, but they carry people.
Can Henry and Gordon be the weathered guards of like the entrance to Sodor?
Sodor. Such a badass name.
Mm-hmm. The island of Sodor.
Mordor.
And James is like I don't know what James would be.
It's like the herald. Welcome.
The Walmart greeter.
Yeah. The Sodor greeter.
I'm fascinated.
And
I mean,
we've got John Boyega, so it's obviously a success.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant. Is that
I like
okay
trains.
enough for your... I like trains. Is that enough for the answer to that question?
I think so. They just appear, kind of.
Yeah, like, people don't... Because it's transoceanic, and no one's really been... Because the trains run on their own.
Mm-hmm.
No one's been taken to the origin of trains. But we know that someone is creating fake trains to try to access the origin of trains.
Right.
Well, people on the island are.
Yeah.
And that's like a deep held secret in some laboratory deep in, Stranger Things style.
Yeah, and they're going
It's fenced off.
bad and killing people because they don't have the same need for people that the other trains do. So then John and Thomas
Ooh, so they're more powerful than regular trains.
have to figure out who's doing it. Well, they don't have the connection, right? Because they're like, oh, humans made me, but...
It's kind of like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like most of our edits turn into crime dramas or like...
I mean, you didn't into gritty, like...
Well, no, I take that back.
The
Because
island-
last episode was
like
a
comedy
game show, right?
yeah.
And the episode before that was that was a murder.
Yeah.
The island is actually a crashed alien spaceship. Trains are alien products.
But where did the humans come from?
The island is actually lost.
Where did the humans come from on this island?
They got picked up on the other end of the transoceanic line and eventually brought over to the island of Sodor
So,
and created a settlement there.
are their memories, like, erased once they come to Sodor?
No, they just don't know what Sodor is. They just think it's an island.
But no, I mean, like the trains that just appear, right?
They appear like at train stations. They think that they're trains. Like,
Well, I was
But
thinking,
do the trains have memories of where they were?
yeah, so the
Yeah.
trains don't appear on Sodor.
Uh-huh.
The trains appear somewhere in this world,
oh, okay.
and they've never taken a human to their birthplace. Like, the trains know where they come from.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
Sodor is like where this drama is happening.
Okay.
But there's this other, like this whole other part of the world where trains can travel and take people. But there's also a part of the world where trains come from, and they don't want to take people there.
And John Boyega
Interesting.
eventually goes there, but not till like season 5 or 6.
Right.
That's good. I like that. Thank you. That clears some things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sodor is where bad guys are making trains to try to
Gotcha.
access the birthplace of trains so that they can control transit.
But, it's also like, a lot of people think of it as like, a happy village where trains and humans coexist.
Right.
But just a lot of bad
That's
stuff
what it
happens.
looks like on the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But underneath. Dun dun.
Yeah.
And
And all
maybe-
those like welcome cards or those greeting cards was like, welcome to Sodor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish you were here.
Wish you weren't here.
And then the intro card is like that card and then blood splatters on it and then it's like dun dun.
So is Sodor then still cut off from everywhere else?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
I think part of having transoceanic railroads is that there can be islands.
Oh, so it's kind of an alternate universe.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of like
where the entire world is still kind of like
Oh, okay.
ocean and land masses, but everything's connected by railroads.
So it's kind of like a How to Train Your Dragon style universe.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like
see.
it. Yeah. Thank you. That clears up some of the things that didn't make sense in my head.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like this.
I picture a lot of things in my head and then don't say them out loud. I'm sorry.
It'd be cool to see a map of this.
Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
This is kind of How to Train Your Dragon, but with
Trains?
talking trains
Yay.
and murders and John Boyega.
And Samuel Jackson, Ryan Reynolds, and Jennifer Lawrence, and a
It's
ton
an
of other
all-star
people.
cast.
Did we determine who
Tons of
Jennifer
other
Lawrence
people.
was going to be?
I said Persia.
Percy?
Persia.
Persia. She sounds hot.
Yeah. Well,
You
Logan,
said about a train.
you want Daisy Ridley in there, right?
As a,
There you go.
Who would
as
you
a
like?
bad train, or as the bad creator of trains, or
Daisy Ridley?
Yeah.
Oh, I think she should be a good train.
Oh, you think so?
Well, Logan,
What if-
what would you like?
Daisy
You're the
Ridley?
biggest crush on Daisy Ridley.
I don't know.
As the well-meaning creator of the bad train.
It's the architect.
Yeah.
How can you be a well-meaning
You're just
creator.
trying to create more trains for the world to support the incredibly lacking infrastructure.
But then her heart was turned like, how can I make a profit on this? I could see that. She would play a good villain.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Like a misunderstood villain.
Yeah.
Or a misguided villain.
Who would play like the main bad guy train though? Like the Diesel 10.
Diesel 10.
Vin Diesel.
Yes.
Vin Diesel 10.
Yes.
There we go.
I am Diesel 10.
I am Diesel.
I am Diesel 10.
I mean, he's played Iron Giant.
Oh, did he
Iron
really?
Giant was wonderful.
Yeah, but also not. It's because he had a freaking bump in his head.
Yeah, but
What?
Have you seen Iron Giant?
No. I need to though. I really want to.
God.
Oh my god.
Okay, so to recap.
Yep.
Looks like we have our new version of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Voiced by?
Voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Assisted by, who's possibly the main character,
Mr. Topham
John
Hatt.
Boyega, who is Sir Topham Hatt,
Yes, thank you.
who is a prime investigator as well as a quote-unquote train whisperer.
Who carries the signature weapon of the train cops is a Colt Peacemaker. So those Wild West guns that like the barrel is like
Yeah.
a whole foot long, and like they fire 50 caliber rounds, so that way they can take out trains.
What if it shoots explosive ice bullets? So like when they impact, it like freezes like a splatter.
I feel like he should be able to like impede a train's progress.
I was thinking
Something.
what you said about the fire, like that, like using that could freeze the train. Just thought.
It's like it shoots Orbeez.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, keep going. Recap. Keep going.
Shoots icy hot.
It is a
Gosh.
it is a dramatic crime procedural
Yep.
where there are various crimes and murders
Dun-dun.
happening that John Boyega as Sir Topham Hatt has to solve with the help of Thomas, his partner, and various other trains that he can talk to.
Wait, hold on. I have a question.
Yeah.
Really quick to recap. Would Thomas, like, in this train hierarchy, if you are a good train, do you have more passenger cars? So Thomas, as a new train, doesn't have any passenger cars, which is why he can kind of like he and John are the only ones that like he just sits on Thomas's like coach and they travel around because he hasn't earned his passengers yet. He's so new, he hasn't earned the right to carry passengers
But
yet.
he does like later on in the series.
Yes, and
And
then
that
it
becomes
gets
a conflict.
kind of more interesting.
Okay.
He's like, my directive, like my goal is to be a passenger car.
Well, that was a story in like the real thing.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he was just kind of the train to like move stuff around the train
Yep.
yard.
And he wanted to carry people.
And then he proved himself by helping James out of a ditch or something like
Something
that.
like that.
And then he was granted, so like, hey, you're a brave little engine. We're going to give you some passenger cars. So you
like,
can actually have a line.
Instead of taking like the long way, because that's why all these trains are like old and decayed, is because like it takes a long time to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna solve crimes to get that
that.
trust, and then he gets
my
it. He's
off
like,
time.
well, shoot, now I'm doing what I want to do. I don't want to do these anymore, and that's like season 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like, I have
Or
purpose
6.
now. I have passengers to carry.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
can't keep
Okay.
risking them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like a turn of conflict. Like the season 3 finale is that like people are dying on Thomas's engine, and John's like, "What's?"
And Thomas is the prime suspect.
Okay.
Oh,
And
I
this
want to
is-
watch it.
in like a steampunk How to Train Your Dragon's isolated world of like islands and various settlements. It's much more settlement oriented.
Where the trains are somewhat organic, very sentient, obviously. I don't think we need even to say that. But they appear from somewhere that they all know
Don't
where they
know.
come from.
And that's the big secret of the series.
Yes, the humans don't know.
What's in the basement?
Yeah, what's in Aaron's basement?
Oh my god. And bad trains, or some sort of bad train, is coming from the Isle of Sodor.
There is some backstory where there are humans trying to make trains and failing at it, but the trains are still, that they created are evil, and they somehow try to...
They're like sociopathic or
Yeah.
psychopathic trains. Semi-sentient sort of things.
Because their goal isn't properly set up.
Right.
Yeah, and they don't have a symbiotic relationship with humans like the other trains do.
Right.
Right.
They don't have souls.
Yeah.
Noise.
Anything
Nice.
else?
I'm pretty happy.
Samuel L. Jackson plays James. Who played Gordon? Would we say? Vin Diesel plays Diesel 10. Or like the
Obviously.
evil train.
I am Diesel.
It's Diesel. Diesel something.
Okay.
Diesel X.
Diesel 69.
Oh my god.
Jennifer Lawrence plays Persia.
Persia. The sexy train.
Yes.
Yeah, and her passenger cars are all decked out in like lace.
She doesn't have passenger cars yet because she's even younger than Thomas.
She's even younger. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who played
Melissa
Gordon?
McCarthy plays
somebody.
somebody.
Didn't we say she was Percy?
Sure.
She can be an original character.
Yeah, we need more female original trains.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, there are other characters
And
too.
Daisy Ridley is someone.
Is a human, right?
Yeah.
She's a misunderstood.
Yeah. The creator.
Yeah.
The-
What can be like John Boyega's catchphrase?
Jinkies. I'm just kidding.
Or like Thomas's catchphrase. Because he's kind of the comedic partner. Although that's not his only purpose. I shouldn't limit him to that.
Yeah. Way to be empowering.
James is the comedy
Yeah.
relief. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a train-related pun. It's too late for that. I can't.
You
think
just
of
got
the
trained. Looks like you just went off the rails.
Dun dun.
That's the end of the episode. That's the end of the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm happy with it.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas the Murder Engine. No?
Oh, the name of the series?
I don't know. I don't know what it would be. It would still be Thomas the Tank Engine, I feel like.
Blood and Steam.
Thomas and Friends.
Thomas and Friends. Yeah, there you go. Do 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 do.
Bum bum.
Do do do.
Bum bum. It'd be cold-blooded, but spelled C-O-A-L-D.
Oh my
Cold-blooded?
gosh. Oh my god.
A cold-blooded murder. No, that's the name of like an individual episode.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded murder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
What's the
like
name of
this.
the island?
Sodor.
Just call it Sodor.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That'd be real
like
good.
like Gotham.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like that. That's
Okay.
good.
Nice. And it's not completely dark and dramatic. I mean, you obviously still have comedic elements.
Obviously.
Like Thomas still quips. James is a comedic relief.
Obviously.
Yeah. And you could do, like, the same mystery could span over 2 episodes.
True.
Yep.
Or an
3.
entire season.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm just gonna keep inserting that in as many times as I can.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. Unless any of you have anything to add.
No.
I'm
Take
happy.
us out.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching, listening, or whatever you do to this episode.
Oh.
You can.
That's
Hello,
weird.
Chewbacca. You can follow us on Twitter at Popapoc Podcast, and that is our handle on Instagram as well. You can go to our website, popapoc.com. You can leave us feedback on Twitter, Instagram. We have a contact page on our website. You can also email us directly, popularapocrypha@gmail.com. We would like to hear from you. What did you think of this episode? You can suggest new characters, whatever you want to. Just tell us something. I don't know. Tell us anything. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us what you want to do for the new year. Tell us your New Year's resolutions. Please, somebody stop me. I'm going on forever.
So before we roll our next character from the pit, just got an announcement. We're sad to announce that Daniel has decided to leave the podcast and focus his time and efforts on some other projects. He's looking into doing some artistic endeavors and maybe some more gaming Let's Play things as well. And we wish him the best, and we're excited to see what he does. And we'll keep you in the loop what's going on with them. But yeah, so for the time being, at the very least, you've got the 3 of us. White bread.
Sorry.
The whitest bread that we've got.
Yeah. I'm kind of red sometimes.
That's just when you're...
In the sun?
Never mind.
Wow.
So, let's roll our next character for the next episode.
My New Year's resolution is to stay married.
Great
All right.
prospects.
I mean, that's not necessarily the healthiest resolution, depending on the marriage.
Yeah.
But
All
I mean,
right.
just like in December, like 3 more days, and I can file for divorce.
Oh, God.
Not saying that you will, but
Well.
Please stop.
my New Year's resolution is to get to my YouTube channel up going again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Twitch.
I believe.
Follow me on twitch.tv/HeartRightYT.
You should do it.
Yeah.
Popular Apocrypha is sponsored by... Just kidding.
Yeah.
But sort of not.
But we might start streaming. We might start doing YouTube videos again. Tell us if you want it. Tell
Yeah.
us what games you want us to play.
I might
Or
start streaking.
What you want us to...
That's the other thing that we do on
Oh,
Friday
wait,
nights.
sorry. Streaming.
That's on the every other Friday night.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's on the odd nights.
So-
Okay, roll for our next character.
Our
Who are we
next
doing?
character is going to be, funny enough that you mentioned him already,
John Boyega.
Jon Snow.
Oh no.
Oh, I have to watch all of Game of Thrones.
I'm gonna have to read
You have
and
to
watch
catch
all
up.
of Game of Thrones.
So, look forward to our next episode about Jon Snow.
That's
from
a
Game
lot of
Thrones.
lore.
It's a lot.
Oh boy.
It's a lot. So, and it's without complete knowledge, given that, the whole series isn't done.
And it's without complete knowledge, considering I've read like a third of the first book.
I'm
I know
caught
he
up on the
joins the
show.
Black Watch.
I'm
That's all
caught
I
up
know.
on the show. Well, we'll talk about it,
Yep.
and we'll see who hosts that episode.
That's appropriate for snow because it's January.
And it's
Yeah.
yep. All right.
Thanks for listening, people.
Yep.
Have a happy New Year
And a blessed day
or night.
or whatever.
I'm married.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I am too. I mean, I'm married.
Ah, sad.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, get inside me.